I want to have a channel where I can react to football videos, but not only that, I want to be able to speak about other leagues because I watched the Portuguese league. I watched the Inter versus AC Milan game this weekend, and I didn't like. I'm somebody who I like to talk about a game after I watch it, and I really use this as like you guys are my friends, and I just want to kind of yap and talk football, and I think a lot of y'all like to listen to it maybe in the background while you're cooking or you're watching a show or playing a game or something. So I really want to give you my reaction to Arsenal versus Bayer Leverkusen, and I thought to myself, you know what, I'm gonna throw it on this channel here and just like let it fly and see what happens. And hopefully you guys will enjoy it. And if you want more of it, let me know. You know, more Premier League stuff, more the La Liga stuff will stay over there, but more stuff like this. So today's something I really want to kind of talk to you guys about. And what I want to talk to you guys about today is truly this Arsenal game, because I've been on the internet and I've kind of been on like, you know, like streaming platforms and watching what people are saying in streams, and I've been seeing this double standards that I'm not really enjoying, and I want to get this out of my way. I want to get this off my chest. So everyone was like, yo, what a great result for Barcelona, because had they lost that game, it would have been a disaster. And the game I'm talking about was, if you guys missed it, Barcelona tied right at the very end of the game against Newcastle 1-1. Now, Newcastle are a team that's in 12th or 13th place, and people were like, you know, Barcelona struggled, and Barca fans will admittedly tell you that they didn't play well, and people are like, oh, but that goal saved them, right? Like it really, really saved Barcelona. And that was kind of the end of the conversation. That goal, they didn't play well, boom. For Arsenal, there's been this conversation of like, oh yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people like making fun of them. They're not what they say. They're not what people say they are. They're not as good. They haven't been good since Thierry Henry. They've been this, they've been that. And people just bringing up, just kind of yapping. And I don't like this disrespect. And the reason I don't like this disrespect, in my opinion, and you guys can say whatever you want to say to me, and you guys can smash me, yell at me, make fun of me, whatever. But I think tying to Bayer Leverkusen, who's in 6th place in the Bundesliga, is kind of low-key equal to tying a Newcastle in 13th place in the Premier League. I don't really see a difference here. And I see Bayer Leverkusen as a good team. I think Bayer Leverkusen is a good team that plays good ball. And I think today, tactically, they matched up really well against Arsenal, and they hit him with a dose of their own medicine, right? They hit him with that corner and that first corner goal to go 1-0, and Arsenal was able to scrape a win. And we're going to talk about the penalty in a minute, because I do think the penalty is very controversial, and I want to talk about it. But you got this team in Bayer Leverkusen that, you know, people are like, oh, Arsenal are not them. And then for Barca, it's like, oh, one bad game, but the result is good because they have to come back to Spain. And I just don't see how this is not the same conversation for Arsenal and Barcelona. Arsenal's been a team that's on top of the Premier League pretty much all year. They're top of the Champions League. They've absolutely done amazing. And they have this one bad performance in Germany, a hard stadium. The fans are pumping. The Bayer Leverkusen fans are passionate. We know German fans are passionate. And Liverpool go there and slip up. They don't play well. They get really smacked in the face by a pretty dang good Bayer Leverkusen on that day. The stats were very, very close. Just to read off the stats of the game for you guys so you guys can know. 8 shots for Bayer Leverkusen, 7 for Arsenal. 3 shots for both teams on target. 43 possession for Bayer Leverkusen, 57 for Arsenal, which in my opinion, that's really good for Bayer Leverkusen, because I would say Arsenal do have a bit better players. 90% accuracy passing for Arsenal, 87 for Bayer Leverkusen. So listen, guys, what I'm trying to explain to you also, by the way, Bayer Leverkusen, a lot of times they'll say smaller teams. Bayer Leverkusen made 8 fouls this entire game. Arsenal made 10, right? So Arsenal was fouling more. So at the end of the day, Bayer Leverkusen did their thing in their stadium, right? And they're truly actually a little bit unlucky to not get the win. And like I said, we'll talk about that in a minute. But I don't like the double standards in football. And I know it's going to always happen, but I don't like it. And for most of Ronaldo's career, there was double standards. You guys know what I'm saying. There was double standards for most of his career. Like I remember like recently when Ronaldo first won the Nations League, when the very first Nation Leagues came out and stuff, he won it early in that competition, and people were like, it's a friendly. And then another player wins it from another country, not going to bring up names, and they're like, oh, boom, 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 and they start adding it to the resume, right? And it's like, I don't like that. I don't like double standards in football. I think we should keep everything equal. I truly don't like the double standards. I don't even like the double standards of, hey, you know, when people are like, oh, Ronaldo won a Euro, and boom, boom, and then they're like, oh, but Messi won a Copa America, and the instant thing is people are like, oh, the Copa America is easy to win. I don't like that because it ain't Argentina's fault they're in Copa America. It ain't Messi's fault he has to play Copa America. It's not, you get what I'm saying? Like you're in what you're in. You play where you play and it's all about winning. So I don't like that, bro. I think that, you know, everyone, it is what it is. And I just don't like double standards all around. I don't like it in football. And now today we're seeing it massively because I do still think that Arsenal is the best team in Europe. I still think that, yes, a bad result today and a result that honestly could have been even worse if it wasn't for a referee decision. But they're still the best team in Europe. They're still a team that is very, very capable of winning the Champions League. Bayer Leverkusen's not okay. Yeah, they tied. Wow, it's Bayer Leverkusen, y'all. It's not like it's some bum team. First of all, you're in the freaking round of 16 now. Every team there is solid, bro. Like every team is solid. All right. So they got a bad matchup and they got bailed out. Now, why do I say they got bailed out? Listen, on the penalty, there's massive contact. I'm not going to say there's not contact because there's contact. There is contact. But if you look at the play, the Bayer Leverkusen player slides in and the Arsenal player is looking at the feet. You can see the Arsenal player makes contact with the feet, because he was already kind of on the floor sliding. So it's a weird one. There's contact there, and it could be a penalty. But at the same time, it's almost like it's not like the player slid in and took his legs or slid in and took the leg. It's literally he slides in, and the Arsenal player then comes from behind and goes into the leg. So it's a very, very weird one. And again, the penalty is given. I'm not going to say that it's corruption or robbed or this or that, or I'm not going to say none of that nonsense. There's no point of saying that. I'm simply telling you that to me, it looked like it's a weak penalty. It is what I'm trying to say. There's contact, but I don't know, man. Like the more I watch it and I'm watching it back, I want to watch it back. I'm going to watch it back one more time with y'all here, just so y'all are going to see my like actual live reaction to it. Cause I just watched it like 3 times in a row and I want to watch it one more time. So as I'm watching it, you guys can kind of, wait. I think the sound's playing. We'll make sure we cut that out the video, man. Otherwise, you know how it is. I wish I could show it to you guys. I'm going to watch it back right here. Okay. So they get the ball down the wing They get the ball down the wing. He cuts inside. And the moment he cuts inside, man, from far away, it looks like a clear penalty. From far away, when you're looking at the upwards angle, it looks like a penalty. It looks like a penalty 100%. Cuts inside. He's down on the floor. Oh, man, it's so hard to say because the foot comes from behind. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Honestly, lads, I'm not even like mad because I don't know if there's connection with the ball as well. He slides in. Does he get the ball right here? I don't know. It's hard to say, lads. There's definitely connection with the Arsenal player. I just don't know if the connection is like he goes in or this and that. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it looks a little soft. Now, did they get bailed out? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because either way, whether it's a pen or not pen, they got bailed out. They got a penalty. Like Arsenal could have ended up losing that game 1-0. But does that change anything? No. I think you're going back to the Emirates. You're going back to Arsenal, where Arsenal plays really well in their stadium with their fans. Even if they were down 1-0, I think Arsenal can definitely pull that back. I think Arsenal can do that. So I just don't like the narratives that are said, okay? Because for Barca, it was like, whew, we got out of jail with that one. W. And then for Arsenal, it's like, you told you you're not as good as we said you guys said you are. Told you you're not as good. I told you you're not the, and it's like, bro, come on, man. Like, look, like we got to stop disrespecting Arsenal. Look, if they choke again, and if it's like ever said, there's like another episode on next season of Netflix. If it is like that, if it is another season, then it is, right? And we're going to all laugh about it. But at the end of the day, we got to give respect to where respect is due. This team is playing good football. They had a bad performance, and ain't nothing wrong with that, right? Ain't nothing wrong with that. I want to jump to another game. It's a Spartan game real quick for people who care about the Spartan versus Bodo game. 2 things to say about this game. First of all, wow, what a team Bodo has. What a team they have. I hope I'm saying their name right. What a team they have. And I as a guy that watches the Portuguese league, I just don't know how Spartan can come back from 3-0. I think it's going to be very difficult. Now, the Bodo Stadium itself is a little bit difficult to play in. I think it's going to be difficult for any team. If they advance past Spartan and whoever they face next, when you play in Bodo, you are playing on artificial grass. So I don't know if you guys have played on that before, but here in America, a lot of our fields here that we go play on are artificial grass. I personally like real grass. but artificial is, you know, the one where you kick and like that black stuff kind of flies up. That's kind of how Bodo Stadium is, I believe. And that stuff is hard to play on. Now, I'm not a professional football player. I think professional footballers players should be able to play on anything. But I think any team that goes to Bodo Stadium is going to struggle there because I think the ball travels different. The speed of the ball, the way it bounces. I think the way the ball plays on that type of grass is very, very different than normal grass. Normal grass is completely different than artificial turf. So I don't know how y'all feel, but there's not many stadiums in Europe with artificial grass, especially in the Champions League. So I do think this impacts the game. Do I think that's the reason Sporting lost 3-0? I don't think Sporting was up for the game. I don't think Sporting had the right mindset or the right attitude going into this game. And I think Bodo was able to just take advantage. Bodo's coming off of just like they're more rested. They're not as much energies. They're on that field. That's an advantage to them because they play on it more often than other teams do. And also, they're just going through a beautiful phase. So I don't think Sporting can come back from this, if I'm being honest with you. I think Sporting might be getting eliminated. And I think Bodo's going to keep that Cinderella story going because I just think that in the Champions League, guys, from the bottom of my heart, I don't care who you are, it is very hard to 4-0 somebody, especially in the round of 16, right? You're in the round of 16, you got to 4-0 a team. Right. And that's the same thing for Man City. Man City has to 4-0 Madrid to advance. Or you can make it 3-3 and take it to extra time, but you still got to score another one or go to pens. So you got to 4-0 a team without them scoring on you. I think that's very difficult for any team in the Champions League. So I think it's going to be very hard for Sporting to back out. But I mean, to get this back. But just really want to like touch on Bodo, man. Like, what a season. They get a penalty in the 32. They score again in the 45th +1, and they score again in the 71st minute, man. It's unbelievable what they're doing. And it's definitely a Cinderella story, man. That's really all you can say. It's a freaking Cinderella story. And I just give a lot of respect to Bodo for what they're doing in the Champions League. But that's kind of the games that I kind of paid attention to the most, lads, if I'm being truly honest with you. There was other unbelievable games like PSG, lads, what they did. And I can't really talk too much because I didn't see the game, but I did see this. The game was like 3-2. And then all of a sudden, the game was 3-2, I swear. Like a 7, I saw it. It was like 3-2. I was like, ooh, that's a close game between Chelsea and PSG. And I kept watching Madrid. And then all of a sudden, boom, 2 more goals. They win 5-3, 5-2. And if I had to be a betting man, I would say this is over. Even going back to Stamford Bridge, again, you now need to 4-0 them, right? You got to 4-0. Because there's no more away goals. Away goals used to be a big deal. You got to 4-0 them, right? 3 goals to send to extra time, 4 to knock them out. 4-0 is tough, man. It's to 4-0 a team in the quarterfinals is very, 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 and the round of 16 is very tough, man. All these teams in the Champions League, can someone do it? Absolutely, someone can do it. But I think it's very, very tough. But anyways, guys, wanted to touch on Arsenal a little bit right there. Wanted to yap a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed it, kind of reacting to more Champions League games in Arsenal. But I really, really, really respect what Arsenal's doing this year. And I find that us just bashing them because they had a bad game, bro, Barca had a bad game. It doesn't change anything for the season, and nothing changes. Guys, because Real Madrid beat City 3-0 should not change the way you look at Real Madrid and what they've done through this season. They haven't been great. Because Barcelona ties a game to Newcastle that's in 13th place or 12th place, it should not change the way you look at Barcelona. It's one game. Because Arsenal tied 1 game against Bayer Leverkusen should not change your mind. The only time it should change your mind is if a team gets eliminated. If Arsenal gets eliminated to Bayer Leverkusen, then we should have a conversation about Arteta and what's going on. If Barca gets eliminated, we should have a conversation about Flick and this back line, right? If Madrid gets eliminated and Arbeloa has 5 losses in 15 games, we should have a conversation about that manager. But until they get eliminated, I don't think there's really much to talk about, right? Like whether you had a great performance or a bad performance, I don't think there's much to talk about. I love you guys. Appreciate y'all watching. I will catch y'all in the next one. Let me know if you like this content here because it's more about other teams and not Barcelona and Madrid. Love you guys, man.